All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So just like I did a little earlier today, I'm doing a little special version of the recent runner technical analysis videos. Look, I normally don't cover a stock a few days after I just did it, and generally my videos are good for about a week. I think there's a lot to learn on NVOS, and I'll be honest, this one didn't necessarily tank as much as the other ones, but there were a few spots where you easily could have got your hand stuck in the cookie jar, and I think those lessons are incredibly important to learn. All right, so we'll go over that a little bit, and then we will also discuss just what the future kind of looks like, at least the immediate future, right? Before we get into the details, we'll do the same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up. We have our 5 moving averages, these horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself, and then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like and subscribe, it does such good things with the YouTube algorithms, but even if you don't, for real, thank you so much for watching, and man, I appreciate your time so much, okay? With that, if you disagree with anything I got to say, just throw it in the comments, all right? I do not have a crystal ball here. I'm just giving you my opinions, and if yours are better, I am very open to hearing them, you know what I mean? And hey, you might save me some money if you end up being right and I listen, right? All that said, let's get into the details. And again, we'll talk about what tomorrow might look like. But first, let's just kind of go over what happened since we made the video. So, I very often talk about ignoring post-market and pre-market movement, okay? And I know for a fact I flashed this one on the last video. After hours was already here. I remember dropping the F-bomb, and I do a really good job of trying not to curse on these videos, but like, man, it literally flew this day, and then after hours made another move all the way to roughly here or here. I remember the after hours was nasty, okay? And I had said, despite that after hours, I actually thought it was going to come down to here. So I'll be real honest with you, it definitely did better than I expected, but I think with the after hours, most people thought it was going to come to this 24 or go even further, right? I mean, I had lines at 29. I think I have another set. Yeah, next one was at 108, right? Because of this gap. So I know that after hours fooled a lot because for real, that used to be me. I used to for real see that and be like, oh my God, that's it. We're running. If we're doing this after hours, what are we gonna do in the morning, right? And it's less about that and way more about the actual hours and where it closes. Right? This thing opens right here, right? So that's how good an after hour and pre-market it was. It goes from 17 to 22 overnight, right? From there, it flies up another almost 10% to 24, right? You can see the wick goes up that high. Yeah, the high was 24. From there, though, what does it do? It closes under the 100. It does not break it, right? And end of the day, breaking a moving average is much better than getting really close to it, you know? Yeah, that is actually very decent confirmation here. For sure it is. We're way away from the candle. I obviously wish it was a green candle. I think green is generally a better confirmation than red, even though we gap it up, right? And again, I saw some losers up here, right? Someone bought way up here and watch it go here. Someone actually bought here and watch it go up, right? But nonetheless, today was an interesting day. You can totally see this thing was ready to crash down to that 15 that I actually thought it was going to do 2 days ago. But instead it hammers up, okay? We're still technically 2 days under the 100 and we actually were never over it. However, I have a little more respect for this 100 moving average line than I did before. You know what I mean? Like, I'm actually really surprised that it's still at the very minimum trying to oscillate around it, right? Just still under, so not a good one, but hey, maybe it'll like still kind of hover around the line. But I'm very surprised it didn't actually end here. I'm surprised it went back up from the low of 16 all the way up to 19 for real. Do not like this RSI, all right? And obviously the RSI, it was only at 77. It wasn't actually like a silly number. But yeah, I want the RSI to look like that, right? I want both lines of green, both green lines to be going up, not this curve down. Almost looks like it's ready to lose the red, right? That's definitely not good. do not like this volume drop, right? We basically went 50%, a little more than 50%, right? We go from a buck 80 to less than 90, right? So that's definitely a less than 50% drop. That's not good. You know, I think tomorrow is going to be all about this 20 cent line. All right. We need it to go above the 100 moving average, and we need it to close above the 100 moving average. Look, I'm going to zoom out again. This is sexy. Okay, I'm a married man. I'm not allowed to look at other women anymore, right? So for me, this is where it's all at, right? Like, this is whatever you're into, like, this is it for me right here, right? This one day will turn into an amazing green from roughly 30 cents to $1. That's more than 3x, right? Oh my gosh. However, this blue line will be no joke. And actually, getting over these two lines, I don't think are going to be that easy either. We already saw what it did right here, right? So this first one's already proving itself to be a good one. But just know, and I'll set it again just in case you didn't watch the first video. I'm setting an alert at 30. Now, an alert is not an immediate buy notification, but yeah, I want to know if we cross this line, because yeah, that's a gap fill, right? I love it. So again, 20 cents is the magic number going into tomorrow. I still am holding we're coming down to 15 cents. That's what I said 2 days ago. Almost happened today. Kind of surprised it didn't happen today, but we'll see what happens. I will say this. I like how the 8 moving averages, and look, maybe the 8 ends up coming around 16. And as long as you're over the 8, you know I'm a happy guy. So I'm not here screaming, you know, horrible, bear. I'm really not. I'm just honest. I don't think we're breaking this just yet. But maybe we'll hit the 8 and make another bounce up. By the time we come down to the 8, this 69 might be like a 50 something, whatever this number is. What number was this? 32. Damn, that's a little lower than I'd like to go. But yeah, hopefully we catch it around here. And then yeah, let's go from 50 to 80. That might be enough to break it, right? So I will get very bearish if we lose the 20. All right. Don't go under the 20. If in the next few days, as I expect, the 20 is going to kind of go up, don't lose the 50. But in general, stay either within these. Obviously, I want you to go over this. That's the big one. I want you to go over 29. But just stay in the moving averages, and things can at least maybe pick up if we get another little volume pop like we did, okay? But yeah, again, I normally don't cover stocks that often. Like, my videos are good for about a week, but I really think that a lot of this, and it's funny, I say that it's like, it's still actually technically positive, right? So in a lot of ways, there's almost no learning lesson here, but this didn't do what I do think a lot of people thought it would have done. You know what I mean? So that's at least, in my opinion, why. But you break this 100 one last time, yeah, silly things could happen. Ooh, excuse me, I got a little too excited there. Silly things might happen is what I was trying to say. Hey, I appreciate your time so much, and more videos are coming.